Hello everyone, this is Plague Warrior 1, and we are going to talk about today Gundam 0079, or if you go on Netflix, it's just Gundam 1, the movie. It's kind of animated movie. So when I watched, I was very intrigued. Watched Toy Galaxy, as they did a review of Gundam, and looked on Netflix and found it, and I've been a Gundam fan for a very long time. I got hooked with Gundam Wing, but then kind of stopped watching after a while, and I want to get caught up on it because I do find Gundam fascinating. And thought we'd examine character conflict through looking at the Gundam movie. But before we do that, I would like to talk about my comic, and that you can still go fund it on Indiegogo, and you still got time. Go look at some sample pages, see if you're interested, and it's only $5 for a digital edition, or if you would like the beautiful poster that has been created for it, you can pay $20, get that poster, and get the digital edition. But look, let's go ahead and get started with the video. We start off with our main protagonist, Amuro, and I'm probably going to butcher some names, so I apologize. It's kind of interesting in the very beginning because, the principal of Zeon is trying to defeat the Earth Federation, and in the midst of that, they've got the upper hand because they have engineered mobile suits, and Earth Federation says, oh, well, we got to develop our own, so they end up developing 3. The main one that we know of nowadays is the Gundam. They don't really explain in the beginning. It's like, it seems that this thing was created and you think they would have a pilot to go with it, but they didn't. It's just like it was created. And maybe it was just so soon they hadn't picked out a pilot yet. But it's kind of hilarious because Amuro picks up a manual from the floor, like somebody drops the manual for the Gundam. He reads through the Gundam manual really quick, and suddenly he knows how to work the Gundam. Now, admittedly, at first you're thinking, oh no, have we got another thing like in comics where the main hero, although he is a dude, it's not like it's Rey from Star Wars or anybody, but have we got somebody that already knows everything by just reading one little thing, the manual, and now he knows how to pilot the Gundam perfectly and defeat the entirety of Zeon? And I am happy to announce that is not true. It's not. It's great. They go and Zeon attacks while they're trying to escape with the Gundam, while Amuro gets in the Gundam and he begins to pilot it, and he's a complete mess. It's like, okay, thankfully somebody took the right route and said, he can't just be all that in a bag of chips after just reading the manual. He's got to suck at it. And so he's messing up. He's not landing punches. He only knows how to use one of the guns, like the little mini guns on the side of the head of the Gundam. And they manage to escape. And he's relying mostly on the Gundam's durability. Like, he is getting shot up. And they actually make the escape, and he's able to get away. It's interesting because around the middle part of the movie, he doesn't want to pilot the Gundam. He doesn't like war. He's just like, hey, I'm just a civilian. I'm not a soldier, which is awesome. He's like, I don't need to be involved in this conflict. I'm just like everybody else. I'm not a soldier. I don't know how to do this stuff. I don't know how to shoot people. I've never shot anybody before. And so it's great. And then Bright says you need to buck up, get with the program. You're the only one that can pilot the Gundam, and you have a responsibility to save the people on the ship. Which is an awesome sentiment because it's true. They have 2 other. They got the gun cannon and the gun tank, but they're not as nearly as mobile, if you see what I did there, as the Gundam, and thankfully not as cool either, because can you imagine a whole fandom called Gun Tank instead of Gundam? But the Gundam is the main weapon. It's not the other two. And so after several more encounters with Char, who's his main antagonist, and the other people of Zeon and their mobile suits, he learns to pilot the Gundam really well. Like in the very end of this, I want to say it's like 2.5 hour movie. I mean, he has gotten full control of this Gundam. He's hiding. He's using guerrilla tactics. He'll hide behind something, stick out his gun, boom, shoot a Zaku in the chest, destroys it, and he's flipping around. He's doing all kinds of crazy tactics. He's really learned how to pilot the Gundam well after several encounters and battles with this Gundam. He's really, and I think they're putting him through simulations as well. So he's really learned how to pilot this thing. So I really do enjoy watching a progression, because with comic books nowadays and some of these movies, they're like, oh, they automatically know everything and they barely have to do any trials. They just have it handed to them and they know it all and they're the chosen one. And it's like, no, that's not how this works. You got to train up. Even if you're great at something, even if you're a natural, you have to train, you have to learn. It might come easier than everybody else, but you still need to train and learn and understand. So it's great that they did that. And going back to the idea that he's not a soldier. He doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to pilot the Gundam. He doesn't know how to kill people. He doesn't want to hurt. I don't know if he specifically says he doesn't want to hurt anybody, but maybe. I can't remember. But it's interesting that in the very end of the movie, there's a parallel of him with his mother. Because he goes to visit his mom on Earth. He hasn't seen her in many years. And she is like, oh, how you been? What you been up to? And then this like 2 Zeon soldiers show up. So they have to hide him. And they hide him, but then his alarm goes off for his phone, or his phone rings, or whatever they use for communication. And they're wanting him to come back to the ship because they need to leave because Zeon's about to attack. And the Zeon soldiers are like, oh, somebody's here. And so they're coming out. And Amaru pulls out a gun while he's still laying in the bed, pretending to be a hospital patient. Shoots a dude. And gets out and tries to shoot the other guy down, but that guy escapes. And his mother's astonished, like, how can you shoot that person? And he goes, because he was shooting at me. What, do you want me to die? Just because I don't want to shoot somebody else? He was shooting at me. It's true. I love, it's like he's crazy pacifist, like, especially for her. I mean, that's her own son. He tells her at the very end, like after everything's said and done, they escape, and Zeons, they destroyed that base. He goes and visits his mom one last time before they leave, and she says, I'm still offended at what you did or something. He says, look, I've got a responsibility. I've got people to protect, and that's why I do this. And so I think it's a great parallel to show how he's developed as a character of not wanting to fight. I'm just a civilian too. I am fighting, and the reason is to protect people from Zeon. So I think that's pretty great. I loved Gundam 0079. I can't wait to watch the next one.